You were talking about the stuff that's in your head as a salesperson. All the obstacles are in your head. Can you debunk or can you bust a myth?
Right. So yeah, this is one of my favorite things. So we are the product of a programming. The Romans used to have a saying: "Give me a boy until the age of 7 and I will show you the man." So they knew, before modern psychiatry and all our medicine, they knew that the first 7 years were the most formative in the development of a child. Yeah, and so it's true. So now you look back at what were you taught as a child that could prevent you from being any good at selling. And there were a lot of rules there are 3 in particular that stand out that you were taught as a child that no one ever told you don't apply as a grown-up. So you have what psychiatrists call scripted behaviours, and it's a programming. One of the rules we were all taught was never talk to strangers.
Right. The opposite of cold calling.
Now that's a great rule. It's a great rule for a child, but no one, when I ask anyone, did your mum or dad ever tell you that rule doesn't apply when you're a grown-up? And everyone goes, no. Right, so it's there. It's still there. It's still a rule. Then you get the other rule. What were we all taught? It's rude to interrupt. So now, rude to interrupt. Again, did anyone tell you as a grown-up you can interrupt anybody you want? No. Right, so that's another rule you've got in there. And then the final one is you were programmed that you had to answer questions. Your entire life, growing up, your mum and dad be pointing at pictures in a book. What's that? What's that? What's this? What's that? If you got it right, you got praise. Very important to a developing brain. You need the praise, the smile, so you feel all good about yourself. You feel loved. You feel accepted. If you got it wrong, depending on childhood, it could be anywhere from locked into the basement through to what most of us I hopefully got was, no, try again. So you try again. And you kept going until you got it right. When you got it right, you got praise again. So your brain was programmed that A, it should always answer a question, and B, it should always try to give the right answer. Again, no one told you that doesn't apply as a grown-up. No one said, answering questions is an option. You didn't have that right as a child. It was an absolute mandated behaviour. So now, fast forward to 25 years of age. You get a new job, sales job. They give you a list of CEOs who you've never spoken to before. You know they're busy because they're busy guy, it's CEO. Yeah? And then they say phone them. And as you pick up that phone, all these tapes start playing. Your mum starts screaming at you. What are you going to say to him when you get through? He's a stranger. He's not going to want to be interrupted. How are you going to answer his questions? Do you know he's going to know a lot? So they're self-sabotaging even before the guy answers. And then when the guy answers, they act all startled. Hi, sorry to disturb you. Look, my name's Benjamin how are you today? And they all say the same thing, fine. And no one ever says, it's awful, my wife.
And they're thinking, what do you care? It's
insincere, but because it's a reaction, they don't know what to do. Somebody, I just like a little bit of time to introduce her. And the guy, I'm not interested, bye. It's like, well, no wonder it didn't work. You know what the average salesman's thinking when the phone's dialing? Do you know what's going through the average salesman's head as the phone is dialing?
They're thinking about some kind of abuse or pain about to happen or rejection.
Most are thinking, please don't answer. Please don't answer. Please.
Oh, please don't answer. Okay.
Yeah. And then when they do, you see, they want to be seen to be doing the behavior, but they don't want to actually do it. Yeah? And then they have a bad call. They have to spend 5 minutes putting that into the CRM system to buy them some room. Then they got to figure out the next. So there's about 6 minutes in between each call now. Yeah. Then after about 40 minutes, and 5 dud calls, they go, I've had enough, I'm knackered. It's like, you've done nothing. But it's these rules. You can't interrupt. It's rude to interrupt. You better have an answer to their question. And it's a stranger. And then the authority, you hear your mum say, what are you going to say to him when you get through? You're an account executive. This guy runs a successful business. So this is all the head trash that's going on. And it's getting people to realise you don't have to listen to your mum and dad anymore. Stop taking mum to work. Leave her at home.
This has been Jeff Stearns, Connected Through Cars.